My family laughed at me and thought I was a beggar when I left home at 19. "You're a loser, you'll never make it," they said, but I kept quiet. Month later their faces are pale when I told my family that I was moving out, they laughed. Not a little laugh. Not even the kind of laugh you give when you're not sure if someone is joking. No, this was a full-on, uncontrollable laugh, as if I had just said the most ridiculous thing imaginable. My dad leaned back in his chair and shook his head like he couldn't believe my stupidity. My mother smiled, that condescending look she always gave when she thought someone was making a fool of themselves. And my twin sisters? They giggled like they were watching the best comedy special of their lives, whispering to each other between bursts of laughter. Then came the insults. "You're a failure. You won't last a week. You'll come back begging like a stray dog. Honestly, it's a relief you're leaving. One less problem for us." I stood there and said nothing. There was no point in arguing. No point in explaining. Nothing I could say would change their minds. They had already decided that I was a joke, and they were enjoying it far too much to stop. It all started at dinner the night before. I had been planning my move for months, working quietly, saving money, setting everything up. I had found a small apartment across town in actual city, not that miserable little town where everyone stayed trapped in the same cycle, never doing anything with their lives. I didn't need their help. I didn't need their support. I just wanted to let them know. "I'm moving out this weekend." My father put down his fork. He didn't speak right away, just stared at me as if I had just confessed to some heinous crime. My mother shook her head, unimpressed. Then she let out a short, sharp laugh through her nose. "With what money?" "From my business." And that was it. That was all it took to set her off. My sisters burst out laughing first. My dad scoffed. My mom put her hand over her mouth as if to stifle more laughter. "Oh my God, he thinks he's some kind of businessman." More laughter. More whispering. My sisters looked at me as if I had just said I was going to be an astronaut. I didn't react. I didn't explain myself. That only made them push harder. "You? Running a business? You can't even take care of yourself. You'll be homeless in a month. People like you don't make it. You're not smart enough. Let's see how long it takes you to come crawling back." For the next 2 days, they made sure to remind me how much they didn't believe in me. My father sighed and shook his head every time he walked by my half-packed bags. My mom made sarcastic comments about how I should take pictures of my apartment so I'd remember it when I got evicted. My sisters? They were whispering and giggling nonstop, looking at me like I was the biggest joke they had ever seen. It was pathetic, really. They acted like I had announced something crazy, like I was running off to join a cult or live in the woods. I was just moving to a different part of town. But to them, the idea of me succeeding on my own was the funniest thing in the world. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. I didn't explain. And then the day came. I packed my things, grabbed my keys, and walked out. No big speech. No dramatic exit. No last words. They didn't even say goodbye. The first thing I felt when I left was silence. Not the uncomfortable kind. Not the silence that comes when you don't know what to do next. No, this was the best silence I had ever experienced. No sarcastic comments from my mother. No sighs from my father. No giggles from my sisters. Just me, my packed car, and the road ahead. I moved into a small apartment in the city, not fancy, but clean and mine. It was strange at first, being in a place where no one rolled their eyes at me when I spoke. I could breathe. I could think. I wasn't afraid. I had my business. It wasn't huge yet, but it was making money. Dropshipping, buying and selling products without ever touching them. I had spent months setting up my websites, finding suppliers, figuring out how to market. My family never noticed because they never bothered to ask. They thought I was just wasting time on my laptop. But I wasn't wasting time. I was working nonstop. Morning to night. Every single day. I barely left my apartment unless I had to. Orders began to come in. Then more. Then more. And then, a month later, I did something for myself. I bought a car. Not just any car, a brand new 2024 Toyota Camry. It wasn't some crazy sports car, but it was mine. It was new. It was proof. I took a picture of it, posted it online, and wrote a simple caption. Hard work pays off. Congratulations on my new ride! That was it. Nothing flashy, nothing pretentious. Just something for myself. 30 minutes later, my phone exploded. Missed calls. Messages. Notifications. My sisters. My mom. Even my dad. Is this a joke? Where did you get the money? You're lying. There's no way you bought this. I smiled at my phone. I answered a call from one of my sisters. It's real, I said. I bought it myself. That was probably my mistake. Because the moment they realized I had money, they suddenly remembered I existed. My mom called right after that. This time her tone was different. Sweeter. Almost too sweet. We were just talking about you, she said. You know, we really miss you. It's been too long. My dad sent me a text. One text. The same man who hadn't said a single nice thing to me in years suddenly wanted to check in. My sisters, the same ones who laughed at me constantly, now complimented my business. Asking how I did it. Saying they were proud of me. I knew exactly where this was going. And I was right. Because 2 days later, they started asking for money. It started small. Almost cautiously. My mom called first. Her voice was different this time, soft, almost hesitant, like she didn't want to scare me off. Not her usual sharp tone, not her usual sarcasm. It was obviously fake. I knew that even before she got to the point. Richard, darling, how have you been? We haven't talked in so long. I just wanted to check in and see how you're doing. Right. Now she wanted to check in. Not when I moved out. Not when they laughed me out of the house. Now that they saw the car. I played along. I've been good. Business is good. Oh, that's wonderful, honey. You've always been so smart. I always knew you had potential. This almost made me laugh. Listen, I don't want to stress you out, but things have been a little tough around here. Your dad's hours have been cut, and the bills are piling up. It's been so hard, Richard. We just need a little help. Nothing crazy. Just a little loan, you know, until we get back on our feet. There it was. The real reason she was calling. I didn't answer right away, so she continued. You're doing so well now, and $2,000 isn't much to you, is it? I mean, with your new car and everything. I almost said it out loud, oh, so I have money now? But I held my tongue. I knew what was happening. I had seen it before. The moment they thought I had something they could take, suddenly I wasn't a joke anymore. Suddenly I was useful. I didn't say yes. But I didn't say no either. Then my dad called. Which was rare. Listen, kid, he started. No hello. No how are you? Just straight to the point. Your mom's been worried sick. We have to handle things as a family. If you have money, you should help us. That's what family does. Oh, now we're a family. Funny. Because when I left, they practically pushed me out the door. When I was struggling, they didn't care. When they were laughing at me, family didn't seem to matter. And then, like clockwork, my sisters reached out to me. No fake warmth this time. Just straightforward entitlement. You should be grateful that we raised you. One of them texted. We put up with you for 19 years. The least you could do is help us out. Put up with me? Like I was some kind of burden? Then the other one texted me. Mom and Dad did everything for you. You're so selfish. You can't just disappear and leave us to struggle. I stared at my phone for a long time. Just a month ago, these same people were laughing at me, mocking me, telling me I was nothing. Now, because I had a car, because they thought I had money, I was suddenly responsible for them? I finally replied. I will think about it. They seemed satisfied with that answer. But I had already made up my mind. I wasn't going to give them a cent. And when they realized that, things got ugly. At first, they were patient. For a few days, my mom sent me little reminders, trying to sound casual. Hey sweetheart, any update on what we talked about? Don't want to pressure you, but we could really use the help right now. You're doing so well, Richard. We're so proud of you. Just let me know when you can send something over. Then my dad texted. You said you'd think about it. It's been a week. My sisters weren't so subtle. Wow. Can't believe you're actually being this selfish. I ignored most of it. I had nothing to say to them. Then, out of nowhere, my mom called, sounding panicked. I let it ring a few times before answering. Richard, I didn't want to tell you this, but we're in serious trouble. I had to take out a loan a while back, and now they're demanding the money back. If we don't pay it by next week, we could lose everything. Her voice was shaking. If I didn't know better, I might have believed her. How much? I asked, already knowing I wasn't sending a cent. 5,000, she said immediately. Please, Richard. I wouldn't be asking if it wasn't serious. 5,000? Just a week ago, they needed 2. Now the amount had more than doubled? I told her I'd get back to her and hung up. But something felt off. Then I ran into my aunt. I was grabbing coffee in the city when I spotted her walking down the street. My mom's older sister. She wasn't super close to us, but she had always been kind to me. She actually listened when I spoke, which was more than I could say for my immediate family. I hadn't seen her in a while, but when she noticed me, she smiled. Richard, it's been too long. We talked for a bit, just catching up, and then I decided to ask. My mom told me she took out a loan, I said. She says she has to pay it back next week, or they'll lose everything. The moment I said it, her face changed. Her smile dropped, replaced by something between disbelief and frustration. She shook her head. Richard, there's no loan. I stared at her. What? They're lying to you. She sighed. I told her it was wrong, but your mother doesn't listen to anyone. She thinks you owe her, and she figured if she scared you enough you'd pay up. I felt my stomach tighten. She told me what she was planning. My aunt continued. I told her it wasn't fair to you, but she just laughed. She said he's young, he'll make more money. It's not a big deal. I couldn't speak. She's done this before, Richard. Not just to you. To me. To other family members. Always some emergency, always some crisis that doesn't exist. And when people stop giving her money, she moves on to the next person. I stood there, completely still, as the truth sank in. They weren't just asking for money. They weren't just guilt-tripping me. They had planned this. My own mother had schemed to manipulate me out of thousands of dollars. And I had almost believed her. I clenched my jaw, forcing myself to stay calm. I could have called her out right then and there. I could have sent a furious text, confronted her, told her I knew everything. But I had a better idea. I walked home in a daze. I kept replaying my aunt's words in my head, trying to make sense of it. My own mother, sitting around, coming up with a fake story just to squeeze money out of me. Laughing about it. Thinking I'd just hand it over like some clueless idiot. And the worst part? She had done it before. I checked my phone. More messages. My mom. My dad. My sisters. Richard, please, we're running out of time. Be a man and take care of your family. Are you really just going to let us struggle like this? I stared at the screen, disgusted. I could have blocked them right then and there. I could have called my mom and told her exactly what I knew. But that would have been too easy. Instead, I sent one message back. I've been thinking. You're right, I should help my family. Meet me at the bank tomorrow at 2 p.m. I'll pull out the money in cash. Instant response. Oh, sweetheart. Thank you. You have no idea how much this means to us. Sure. I had an idea. I arrived at the bank a little early, just to see if they'd actually show up. And there they were. My mom, standing near the entrance, talking with my dad. My sisters were there, too, looking way too excited for people who were supposedly in financial crisis. I stayed in my car for a moment, just watching them. They weren't stressed. They weren't desperate. They looked happy. My mom was smiling, chatting away like this was just another day. My sisters were laughing, nudging each other. It hit me then. They had probably already planned how they'd spend the money. My mom would pay for her little luxuries. My dad would go back to doing nothing. My sisters? Probably shopping or a vacation. They weren't struggling. They weren't desperate. They were celebrating before they even had the cash. I exhaled slowly. Then I stepped out of the car. The moment they saw me, my mom's face lit up. She actually reached out to hug me. I stepped back. No need for that. Let's go inside. We walked into the bank together. I went straight to the teller. My mom stood close, like she was afraid I'd change my mind at the last second. I smiled at the teller. "Hi, I'd like to check my balance, please." My mom's smile twitched. Richard, just withdraw the money." "1 second, Mom." I leaned on the counter casually. "Actually, can you tell me if there's a loan under my mother's name? Just curious." Silence. My mom froze. The teller glanced at her, then back at me. "A loan?" I turned to my mom, tilting my head. "Yeah, Mom. The one you told me about. The one you desperately need to pay back before next week." She looked like she had been slapped. My dad cleared his throat. "Richard, this isn't necessary." "Oh, but it is." I cut him off, looking back at the teller. "Go ahead and check." My mom grabbed my arm. "We're leaving." I pulled away. "No. We're not." My sisters weren't laughing anymore. They just stood there, stiff, looking between each other. The teller clicked a few buttons, then shook her head. "No loan under this name." Silence. I turned back to my mother. "That's weird. Because you told me there was." She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. My dad wouldn't even look at me. My sisters stepped back, like they wanted no part of this. I took out my phone, opened my aunt's message, and held it up. "You lied to me," I said, voice calm. "You've been lying to me. And you've done it before." She panicked. "Richard, I was going to explain." I laughed. A real, genuine laugh. "Explain? What exactly were you going to explain? How you were planning to steal from me? How you were laughing about it behind my back?" My dad finally looked at me. "We're your family." "No," I said. "You're just people who happened to raise me." Then I turned around and walked out. I didn't wait to hear what they had to say. I didn't need to. I had already won. Later that night, they blew up my phone. Calls. Voicemails. Texts. "Richard, we were just scared. It was a misunderstanding. Don't turn your back on your family. You think you're better than us now?" Blocked. Every single one of them. And just like that, they were out of my life. For the first time ever, I felt free. But I wasn't done yet. Because I had one last move to make. Cutting them off wasn't enough. I knew my family. Blocking them wouldn't stop them forever. They'd find new ways to get to me, new sob stories, new fake emergencies, new ways to guilt trip me. So, I decided to end it once and for all. I was going to make sure they never asked me for a single thing again. And I had the perfect plan. A week later, I unblocked them. Just long enough to send one message. "Family is everything. I've been thinking, and I want to make things right. Life is too short for grudges. Let's start fresh. My treat." Then I attached 4 plane tickets to a luxury resort in the Caribbean. First class. All expenses paid. I didn't even have to wait for a response. Within minutes, my mom was calling. "Oh, sweetheart, we knew you'd come around. We've missed you so much." "Sure, Mom. I told them to meet me at the airport in 2 weeks. I'd handle everything. They just had to show up. They bought it instantly. My dad even texted me, acting like he had never tried to scam me. Proud of you, son. This means a lot. My sisters? Suddenly, they were my biggest fans. We knew you weren't selfish. Can't wait. It was actually pathetic how quickly they changed. I booked myself a Rio vacation, somewhere completely different. Then I sat back and waited. The day arrived. I was already relaxing by the beach on my actual vacation when the texts started coming in. At first, they were excited. Just got to the airport. This is going to be amazing. Where are you? I didn't reply. Then, about an hour later. Richard. What's going on? Another hour. They're saying the tickets aren't real. What did you do? Then, the angry calls started. They had shown up at the airport, bags packed, dressed for a luxury getaway. They went to check in, only to find out the tickets weren't real. Not fake. Cancelled. Because I had booked them. And then refunded every single one. They stood there, furious, confused, humiliated, realizing too late that they had been played. The messages turned into threats. Screaming voicemails. You humiliated us! How could you do this to your own family? We looked like idiots. I sipped my drink, enjoying the ocean breeze. Then, one final text from me. I figured it was only fair. After all, lying to family is just what we do, right? Blocked. Forever. And just like that, they were out of my life. For good. That should have been the end of it. I expected my family to rage for a while, maybe send a few last desperate messages, then finally give up. But I underestimated their stubbornness. For the next few weeks, they tried everything. At first, it was anger. You are dead to us. You think money makes you better? You're nothing without us. You'll regret this, Richard. Then came the guilt-tripping. Family forgives, Richard. Let's just talk. Mom's been crying nonstop. Are you happy now? Your father is sick. This stress is killing him. Fun fact, he was perfectly fine. My aunt confirmed it. When that didn't work, they tried fake kindness. We overreacted. We miss you. Let's start fresh. Let's put all of this behind us. We're still family. We should get together soon. Maybe over dinner? Yeah. No thanks. I ignored everything. No response. No engagement. Nothing. Eventually, they stopped. And for the first time in my life, I felt truly free. Months passed. My business kept growing. I moved into a better apartment. Bought an even nicer car. Life was good. Then, one day, I got a message from an unknown number. At first, I almost deleted it without reading. But something told me to check. It was from my youngest cousin. Hey, Richard. I know we haven't talked in a while, but I thought you should know. Your parents have been telling everyone that you stole from them and abandoned the family. I blinked. Excuse me? I called my aunt immediately. She sighed like she had been expecting it. Yeah, they've been going around telling this whole story about how you scammed them and left them penniless. It's ridiculous. I laughed. And people actually believe that? Not really. Most of the family knows what they're like. But they're definitely trying to make you the villain. Unbelievable. Even after everything, they still couldn't accept that I had outplayed them. That I had escaped. That I had won. I could have confronted them. I could have sent a message, called them out, exposed their lies. But then I thought about it, and smiled. They could tell whatever story they wanted. They could play the victims, spread whatever pathetic rumors helped them sleep at night. Because it didn't matter. I had what they would never have, freedom. And no lie, no rumor, no amount of manipulation could ever take that away from me. I never spoke to them again. Not once. Years later, I heard from my aunt that my parents had dug themselves into debt. My dad lost his job. My mom burned through whatever money they had left. My sisters? One was still living at home, and the other was barely scraping by. They had spent so much time scheming and manipulating that they never actually built anything for themselves. And me? I was thriving. I had a real life. A real career. Real success. And the best part? I didn't owe them a damn thing. So, in the end, I got the last laugh.